So let's talk about work. We spend, what, a third of our lives there? But have you ever stopped to think, do your meetings secretly determine your job satisfaction? It's a pretty wild question, but that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Oh, you know the feeling. That calendar notification pops up and you just get that little, ugh, not another meeting. It's a feeling so universal, right? It's practically a workplace meme at this point. But here's the thing. This isn't just about a quick moment of annoyance. It's actually about something way, way deeper. And that feeling, it happens a lot. I mean, get this. One estimate says there are around 11 million meetings happening every single day, just in the United States. To put that in perspective, that's like every single adult in California having their own personal meeting every single day. It's a massive, totally unavoidable part of how we work now.
And hey, if you're a manager or a supervisor, that number gets even crazier. We're talking up to 75% of your time spent on stuff related to meetings. Just think about that for a second. 3/4 of your entire work week, preparing for them, sitting in them, dealing with all the follow-up, that is a colossal investment of our most precious resource, right? Our time.
So that brings us to the big question. Does how we feel about all this time we're sinking into meetings, does it actually matter for our overall happiness at work? We all know they can be a total drain, but do they really fundamentally change how satisfied we are with our jobs? Well, back in 2010, some researchers decided to find out.
Now, to really get why their findings were such a big deal, we got to take a quick step back. For like half a century, everyone in this field thought they had the recipe for job satisfaction totally nailed down. They believed they knew exactly what ingredients made for a happy employee.
And here are those classic ingredients. They're kind of like the Big Five, established way back in 1969. You've got your pay, your chances for promotion, the people you work with, your boss, and of course, the work itself. And for a long, long time, everybody just assumed, yep, that's it. That's the whole picture, case closed. But what if there was a giant piece of that puzzle just missing? Something so obvious, so ingrained in our daily work lives, that nobody even thought to measure how much it affected our happiness. Well, that's exactly what this 2010 study found. Yep, you guessed it, your satisfaction with meetings. It turns out how you feel about all those meetings isn't just some minor, fleeting annoyance. The research is pretty clear. It's a totally distinct, measurable, and really powerful part of your job satisfaction. Just as important, they argue, as how you feel about your boss or even your paycheck. Okay, so why? Why would meetings have that much of an impact? Well, there's a pretty cool theory behind it called effective events theory. And it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. Think of your workday as just a long chain of little events. A terrible, pointless meeting, that's a negative emotional spark. A really great productive meeting, that's a positive spark. The theory just says that all those little sparks, good and bad, they add up over time and basically create your overall attitude about your job.
And to prove this wasn't just some hunch, the researchers got serious. They didn't just poll a few people at their office. No, they ran 2 totally separate studies with almost 1,000 working adults from all kinds of different jobs and industries.
So, in the first study, with about 200 people, they found that, yes, meeting satisfaction really is its own separate thing. Then they went bigger. The second study, with nearly 800 people, didn't just confirm it. It showed that this link holds up even when you control for all sorts of other stuff. We're talking communication styles, how you feel about your team, even whether you're just a generally grumpy person. The connection was still there.
And this, right here, is the absolute knockout punch of the study. Even after they measured all the usual suspects, pay, your boss, coworkers, the whole shebang, how satisfied someone was with their meetings still explained a big, unique chunk of their overall job satisfaction. So it's not just a stand-in for other feelings, you know? It's its own powerful, independent force.
All right, so we've established it's a big deal, but does it apply to everyone in the same way? I mean, think about it. Does it really matter as much for someone who only has one meeting a week compared to a manager who's literally bouncing from one to the next all day long?
And it turns out, the number of meetings you go to works like a volume knob. If you're only in a few meetings here and there, your feelings about them don't really crank up your overall job happiness that much. But the more meetings you're in, the more your satisfaction or your total frustration with them starts to dictate your entire outlook on your job. For anyone with a calendar that looks like a game of Tetris, the quality of those meetings becomes absolutely critical.
So the takeaway here is crystal clear and honestly pretty powerful. If you're a company and you want to improve job satisfaction, boost morale, and keep your people from leaving, one of the biggest, most effective leverage you can pull is simply making your meetings better. And the cool thing is, the research doesn't just drop this bomb and walk away. It gives us a roadmap. Step 1, start measuring it. Companies should actually ask people how they feel about meetings. Step 2, accountability. Make sure managers own the quality of the meetings they lead. And step 3, train for it. Actually teach people the skills they need to run meetings that are effective and, yeah, maybe even a little bit satisfying.
There's this fantastic quote in the paper from a sociologist named Helen Schwartzman, and it just hits the nail on the head. She said, "Meetings are where organizations live through the experiences of meetings." It's not just something that happens at a company. In a very real way, meetings are the company. It's where the culture, the power struggles, and the actual work all come to life.
So, I want to leave you with this thought. The next time you're in a meeting, doesn't matter if it's a total train wreck or surprisingly productive, just stop and think for a second. You're not just talking about a project timeline. You are experiencing your company's culture in its purest, most concentrated form. So the real question is, what is yours saying?